Welcome into this week's edition of Maverick Insider. It's the end of an era for a former Minnesota State and Minnesota Vikings star. Wide receiver Adam Thielen is retiring after 13 seasons in the National Football League. The Detroit Lakes native finished his career with 64 receiving touchdowns. Let's rewind the tape and take a look at one of our old interviews with the two-time Pro Bowler. This is from his first training camp with the Vikings in 2013 after signing as an undrafted free agent with our former sports director, Perry Dyke.
My special guest on the update today is Adam Thielen, former wide receiver of the Minnesota State Mavericks, now hoping to, of course, become a wide receiver with the Minnesota Vikings. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Tell me a little bit about your thoughts when you hooked up with the Vikings, what you were thinking about.
You know, I was just focused going into the rookie tryout minicamp and just focused on showing my thing and showing that I belonged there. So, I mean, just really focused.
Okay, I know they want a receiver that can catch the ball, and I was so impressed with you at Minnesota State. You've got such great hands. You remind me of Chris Carter a little bit. Any of your heroes you think about that you try to emulate?
Yeah, I mean, I remember being young and watching Chris Carter. I remember just telling my dad to throw me diving catches because I wanted to catch diving catches like Chris Carter, like the sideline catches that Chris Carter did. So, yeah, I'd love to be in the same sentence as Chris Carter. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, a year ago, you were one game away from playing in a national championship. Now you got a shot with the Vikings. You had a quarterback named Wolf. Now it's Mr. Ponder. A little different story.
Yeah, they're both great quarterbacks, and I was pretty fortunate to have a guy that could throw it pretty well in college with John. And Christian's a great guy, great leader, and it's been fun working with him so far.
Now, do you feel that coming from a Division II school, obviously, it may be a little bit tougher for you to really get noticed? Are you getting the reps that you think you deserve? Are they giving you a shot?
Yeah, with the rookie minicamp and the OTAs and that stuff, I was able to show what I got, and I think that helped me get more reps. And I got plenty of reps throughout minicamp and stuff like that, and hoping to be able to get more of this training camp and be able to show a little more.
It's all about attitude and confidence. Let's talk about your attitude and your confidence level right now. It should be pretty high.
Yeah, absolutely. Coaches have had good things to say about me and stuff like that, so that helps my confidence and coming in healthy to camp, which is always number one thing. So yeah, I'm just really looking forward to camp.
Mark Brown, also from MSU. We got two MSU guys trying to make this team, both wide receivers. How strange is that?
Yeah, it's crazy, but it couldn't be a better guy to be in the locker room with. A good friend of mine since college, and it's pretty cool to be in the same locker room with him. What
do you have to work on, do you think, yourself the most right now?
Oh, I'd say just the mental part of the game. The NFL is it's obviously a lot faster and stuff like that, but the biggest thing is being mentally prepared. And I feel like I'm getting there, but there's a lot of work to do throughout this training camp.
If this doesn't work out for you, is there life after football?
Absolutely. I think life will move on, but right now my main focus is to make this football team, and it's a main goal of mine.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're going to continue to take a trip down memory lane. In 2016, former Minnesota State star wide receiver Adam Thielen put up some big numbers with 69 catches for 967 yards and 5 touchdowns, establishing himself as a key contributor for the Minnesota Vikings. Here's a listen to his mindset heading into that year as he sits down with former sports director Claire Dow.
Welcome to Vikings Training Camp Update. Joining me now is Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen. Adam, welcome back to Mankato. You're no stranger to training camp here, whether it be with the Mavericks or the Vikings. What's it like to be back where you went to college?
Yeah, I mean, this is my 9th training camp here in a row, so it's good to be back. It's always fun to drive into Mankato and kind of see some of the landmarks that I remember from college. And no, it's just good to be back and back playing football.
You've had a couple seasons now with the Vikings. You started on the practice squad. Can you talk about how your role has changed over the past few years with the team?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where when you come from where I came from and come from a smaller school, you have to kind of work your way up. And yeah, so I kind of started on the practice squad and then got an opportunity to play a lot of special teams, and then kind of my role has kind of just increased as the years go, and hopefully I can just keep that trend going and keep getting more of a role on offense and special teams as well.
You are now one of the more veteran wide receivers on the team. What is it like? I know we talked last year a little bit about the battle for, the few starting spots, but you guys are a family when it comes to camp and preparing and stuff. How do you keep, the team mentality while also trying to get better and better yourself?
Yeah, I think we just all want to, that's a good thing about our group. We have a lot of guys, a lot of leaders that just want to become the best group possible and don't really care about individual success, just want to go have fun, and I think we do that. We go have fun and let the other stuff just play out.
What's some of your favorite things at training camp about coming down to Mankato?
I think just the fans, it's a great atmosphere. It's almost like game-like atmosphere. You come here and crowds chant your name. They're pretty pumped to get autographs and do all that. But yeah, just the atmosphere is awesome, and then just it's a one day closer to the season, so that's always a good thing too.
In this offseason, you did undergo some surgery. What's your recovery been like?
It's been really good. It was more just a cleanup and make sure I'm 100% healthy going into this season, and I feel great. I had a good OTAs and didn't miss any practices there, so I'm looking forward to training camp and preseason games.
And there are a couple guys, obviously you came from Minnesota State, so an NSIC school. There's a couple from Bemidji and here, there, all over. What have you talked about with them, to kind of help them get ready for training camp?
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I just tell them that obviously they screwed up and went to the wrong school in NSIC, but no, it's just fun. It's fun to have guys like that and get an opportunity, and they're great football players. And that's one thing that this team does a great job, is they're going to find the best football players. Doesn't matter where they came from, and it's just good to see that. And hopefully they have a good camp and make an impact on this team.
You guys are coming off a very successul season, winning the NFC North. What has the kind of mindset been going into this training camp? You guys are hungry to get back there and then some?
Yeah, it's just try to build off what we did last year. Coach Zimmer preaches a lot that what we did last year isn't going to mean anything for this year if you don't come in with a mindset to get better each day. And I think we just have to keep that same mindset we did last year and just come work hard and grind it out and just win games the way that we're used to winning games. And that's grind it out. And, it might not be may not win by 50, but as long as we win, that's all that matters. And we have big goals, but like you said, Coach Zimmer will keep us grounded and make sure that we're working towards those goals.
How do you guys stay grounded and focused at training camp? You're out, you're not in your own beds, you're in dorms, you've got practice on practice, in between practice there's meetings.
I think it's easier. I think it's easier because you don't have any outside distractions. It's football all day long, and then by the time you get back to the dorms, you're ready to go to sleep. So there's no time for anything extra really, and your mind's 100% on football, and that's the way it should be, getting us ready for the season. And like I said, we have big goals, so to achieve those, you have to make sacrifices and do the little things to make sure that you're ready to go.
Anything else you want to add about Mankato or training camp at all?
No, just excited to be here. It's a great city, a great community. Always had great support, whether I was at Mankato or now with the Vikings. So just happy to be back, and looking forward to going and doing some things that I like to do in Mankato, and visiting some restaurants and things like that. So it's fun to be back.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck the rest of the season and throughout training camp.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.